Shalom Aleichem, everyone. Hope everyone had a wonderful week. I find preparing these Divrei Torah a little bit of a complexity because on the one hand, Chutz La'aretz, the alumni in Chutz La'aretz, I was listening, Chutz La'aretz are on a different parsha than we are here in Eretz Yisrael. So this week it'll actually work out because we're reading Parshas Emor. And I wanted to address an aspect of Sfiras HaOmer, which is certainly Nogea, even if you're not reading Parshas Emor this time of year. So the Torah tells us in Parshas Emor that we have a mitzvah, Uvusfartem lochem imachras HaShabbos tisperu chamishim yom v'ikravtem mincha chadasha LaHashem. And we're told that the mitzvah, Usfartem lochem, is to count 50 days, and the days shall be Shiva Shavuos Trimos Tiyena, 7 complete weeks. You'll notice in that pasuk, the pasuk is speaking in the plural. Usfartem lachem. Usfartem lachem, plural. And then the Torah says that tisperu chamishim yom. Once again, plural. If you take a look in Parshas Re'eh, so in Parshas Re'eh we have another depiction of the mitzvah of Sfiras HaOmer. And here all of a sudden, this is found in Perek Tet Zayin of Sefer Dvarim pasuk Tes. Here all of a sudden there's a shift. And the Torah tells us, Shiva Shavuos Tispar lach. You shall count Shiva Shavuos Tispar Bilashon Yachid. What exactly is the significance of the shift from, in our Parsha, Lashon Rabim, to the Parsha in Parshas Re'eh, it's Lashon Yachid. So this seems to be a klal in Kol HaTorah Kula, is when the Torah speaks, and this is explicated in the Gemara Maseches Megillah, by the Tochacha, where the Gemara there also points out we have two Tochachos. One is in Lashon Rabim, and one is in Lashon Yachid. In Parshas Bechukosai, in Bechukosai Teilechu B'Lashon Rabim, Kisava B'Lashon Yachid. And when it comes to other areas also, we find that the Gemara tells us, and this is explicated by the Gra in the Sefer Aderes Eliyahu, that when the Torah speaks in a plural language, it's speaking to every single individual as an individual. It's speaking to you, and you, and you, and me, and every single individual, and hence the language of Lashon Yachid. Usfartem lachem is an individual mitzvah, shetehei negmar darshins, in Menachos Tasamach Vav, shetehei sfira lekol echad ve'echad. Every single individual has to count Sfiras HaOmer. You find this as well by the mitzvah of Lulav. Ulakachtem lachem b'yom harishon. The Gemara once again darshins in Maseches Sukkah, shetehei Lekicha, that every individual has to take his own lulav. Shetei lekicha lekol echad ve'echad. That's when the Torah speaks in a lashon yachid. We're speaking to every single individual, and the collective is, that's when the Torah speaks in lashon rabim. We're speaking to every single individual. The collective is, a tzibur is a rabim. In contrast, you have sometimes the Torah speaks b'lashon yachid, and when it's speaking b'lashon yachid, here the mitzvah, this command, is not on every single individual, but it's on what I will call corporate Klal Yisrael. It is a mitzvah that is not on the individuals, but it's on the unit of Knesset Yisrael. The unit of Knesset Yisrael is Lashon Yachid. When I speak about a unit, a corporate entity, I'll speak about, for example, a family, a nation, that is singular. So in Parshas Re'eh, the Torah is telling us that we should count Sfiras HaOmer, and it tells us Shiva Shavuos Tispar lach b'Lashon Yachid. Why? Because the counting of 7 weeks, it's not per se a din in every single individual, says the Torah, but it's a din in Knesset Yisrael. After all, how do we establish Chag HaShavuot? How do we know what day Chag HaShavuos is? Where do we get that name, Chag HaShavuos? The answer is, count 7 weeks. Who counts 7 weeks? Beis Din, on behalf of the corporate entity called Klal Yisrael, counts 7 weeks in order to establish Chag HaShavuos. So Sfiras HaOmer has two elements to it. It has the personal element, where I get myself as a yachid ready for Kabbalas HaTorah, and that demands of me every single day, Usfartem lachem b'yom harishon, every single day getting myself ready, one step further, one step further, one step further, and that's the mitzvah of the yachid, what I will call the yachid. Then you have the mitzvah of the tzibur, the klal, corporate Klal Yisrael, Beis Din, that has to go ahead and make sure that our calendar is functioning, and Shiva Shavuos Tispar lach, that's a din in the Beis Din. When you have that Tocha that I mentioned, in Parshas Bechukosai, there the Torah is speaking, we're in the midbar, to every single individual. In Bechukosai Telechu. Parshas Kisavo, the message is to corporate Klal Yisrael. Bnei Yisrael is about to enter into Eretz Yisrael. Now as a nation, we have to shift gears, make sure we are ready for that as a nation. You'll find, interestingly, when I go ahead and speak to the yeshiva, so when I speak to yeshiva as a yeshiva, so it's very easy for an individual to say, he's speaking to the yeshiva, but not to me. When I speak, this is a reality. When I say, let's all do something as a kind of collective, so then we need help to schlep things from the Chadar Ochel. So everyone says, he's not speaking to me, he's speaking to that guy, that guy, that guy. There's a fault line when a person speaks to the group, because every individual of that group can kind of say, well, he doesn't really mean me. But when you speak to Sfartam Lachem, to you, and to you, and to you, and to you, Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, so then a person cannot go ahead and escape that. So just to tie this in, we're in a very, very special days. I'm recording now the morning of Yom HaZikaron. Tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem, we will celebrate Yom HaAtzmaut. And these are days where we have to really tap in both, I would argue, both as individuals and as a people. When we think about Yom HaZikaron, so Yom HaZikaron is not really, I saw a statistic today, there were some 23,717 fallen soldiers since Hakamas HaMedina, plus another 3,500-4,000 terror victims that we remember today. Yom HaZikaron, our national memorial day for those fallen, sacrificing on behalf of enabling us to live in Eretz Yisrael. So the truth is that the families that lost relatives, this is not their day per se. They have Avelus every single day. It's for us. It's for those of us who need to kind of appreciate the sacrifice that's made, and that's done. That's a national experience that we have here in Israel. And it also requires of us, Usfartem Lachem, is that make it real for yourself. And the same would be said when it comes to Yom HaAtzmaut. Yom HaAtzmaut we celebrate as a nation, as a people, and whether one lives in Chutz La'aretz or in Eretz Yisrael, it's a collective, the schus that we have to visit Israel, to live in Israel, to go to the Kotel HaMaravi, the tremendous miracles of the past 71 years. But at the same time also take time to commemorate, celebrate, see what it means to you personally on an individual level. I think that's significant. That's perhaps one of the messages of Sfiras HaOmer, to tap in both on a global level as a nation, but I understand also the requirements of Usfartem Lachem. That's the constant dichotomy. Make it meaningful to us personally, while participating both in the tsar of the klal and also the simchas haklal.